Hello students, my last video I had dealt with part 1 about two stories of flying. That was about the seagull. I'm dealing with the second part, that's the black aeroplane of the same lesson, two stories about flying. So about black aeroplane, the title is Black Aeroplane. It has got to do something with the chapter. But since the sequel story was all very inspirational, same is the story of the black aeroplane, very inspirational. This story tells us that if you have faith on yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you introspect yourself properly, you're able to overcome all challenges and all hurdles in life. Because it's very important, children, when you are in hard situations, when you are in difficult times, if you don't muster courage, if you don't keep yourself together, if you don't introspect yourself, you're not able to derive a conclusion and you're not able to win. So this story goes like this. The narrator is telling us the story. He was on his flight on a Dakota aircraft, which was not a highly sophisticated modern aircraft. It was a Dakota aircraft. And he was flying to England. He was coming back to meet his family after a long time. So he wanted to reach there well on time at the time of breakfast. You can imagine the plight of a person who is meeting his or her family after a long time. Thoughts, positive attitudes, that happiness, that jubilation in the mind, and that enthusiasm to meet the family. See, he was on his flight and he wanted to reach there well on time to share breakfast with his family. And at that time when the story is running, he was over Paris and he was able to see Paris also. So he contacted the control room for further instructions. They instructed him to turn 13 degrees west. He took that round and suddenly, to his dismay, he was engulfed by a storm, black storm. So he's not able to see anything before him, children. Only turbulence, black storm. There's no biomedia left for him. He cannot take any decision at that hard hour of the time. When the thoughts of meeting his family are there, when he wants to reach England well on time, but suddenly this situation erupts. So he thinks of entering that storm because he has no other biomedia. He enters the storm. And when he enters, there is poor visibility. 0 degree, he cannot see anything. Only black clouds around. The fear in his mind, the thought of dying is there because he cannot find his way now. And when he is in a panic situation, he has a look at the compass of this Dakota aircraft. And he finds, full of fear his mind, he finds that all vital functions of this Dakota aircraft are not functioning. And the petrol tank shows him that there is rarely some petrol left in the Dakota aircraft, which will not suffice because he does not know where he is going. So children, it is always said, have faith, believe in Almighty who is there. Because when there is nobody to help you, there is God to help you. Suddenly he discovers in this black storm another aircraft, a black color aeroplane with no lights. And the pilot in the aircraft waving at him, telling him to follow him. He starts following him because he has no other route. He starts following him and suddenly he finds two white strips. After flying for some time, instructed by this pilot, he finds two white strips. And when he goes down, he finds that is the runway, the airport he has reached. When he lands there, he comes out of the aircraft. He is so happy that he has survived. But simultaneously, the person who helped him to survive, he wants to thank him. He wants to appreciate him. And he wants to give his gratitude to him. So he goes to the control room. The lady is on duty at the control room, children. He speaks to the lady and tells her that he wants to thank the person of the black aeroplane, the pilot, who helped her. The lady is shocked. She is amazed because she tells this Dakota aircraft pilot that there's no other aeroplane which has landed here. And rather in the radar also, if we check, when you were stuck in the storm, there was no other aircraft around, only you were there. So he is shocked for a moment. He thinks, he tries to reveal what had happened with him when he was in the black storm, children. And then he thinks that probably it was a miracle which has helped. What is the story's theme, children? The lady at the control room says there was nobody. In the radar also only you were there. There was no other black aeroplane. This shows, children, you can only succeed when you know how to overcome the fear. You can only be successful if you trust yourself, because he had no other option to enter the aircraft, and probably his sixth sense was working and he was able to land safely on the ground, on the runway. That was the story, children, about two stories of flying, and that was the black aeroplane. Few questions, as I always say, we will do. The first question is, I will take this risk. What is the risk he's talking about? The risk is when he was flying over England, as I said, he wanted to meet his family. The risk is about entering that storm, because there was no way out. If he flies over the storm, he will be lost. If he gets inside, he does not know. So he takes this risk of entering the storm. So that is the risk he is talking about. Number second, what made the woman in the control room look at the narrator strangely? Because when the narrator reached the lady and he asked her that he wanted to thank the pilot of the black aeroplane for helping him, for showing him the way of coming down, the lady feels amazed. She tells this Dakota aircraft pilot that there was no other pilot who was flying simultaneously when you were flying. There was nobody she could spot in the radar also. Who do you think helped the narrator to reach safely? That is a big question. This question, everybody can deal thinking about their perspective. But so far as I am concerned, I'm a firm believer of in yourself, children. It is himself, the narrator, who helped his own self to land safely. How? Because when he took the decision of entering into the storm, that was the challenge he took. Number second, that was the fear there. But he tried to overcome the fear by combating that storm, by entering into that storm. And we entered into the storm, probably that was a hallucination in his mind, which helped him to show him the right way. So this question can be dealt from different perspectives. Everybody can write their own way. So that was the story of the black aeroplane, children, and that's the end of the day. Thank you very much.